ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste, my dear friends. This is my 10th video on talks with Ramana Maharshi. I start the 10th video, talk number 156. Devotee asks the question, is solitude helpful for practice? Maharshi replies, what do you mean by solitude? Devotee, to keep away from others. Maharshi, why should it be done? It is actuated only by fear. Even in solitude, there is the fear of intrusion by others and of solitude being spoiled. Moreover, how are thoughts to be erased in solitude? Should it not be done in the present environment? Devotee, but the mind is distracted now. Maharshi, why do you let go the mind? Solitude amounts to making the mind still. This can be done in a crowd too. Solitude cannot efface one's thoughts. Practice does it. The same practice can be made here too. Talk number 157. Devotee, in the quest of I, the seeker is at a certain stage directed to keep the mind in a negative attitude for grace to enter. How can a negative yield positive result? Maharshi, the self is always there, not to be newly caught. Devotee, I mean to ask, what has been done in the negative attitude to deserve the grace? Maharshi, are you asking this question without grace? Grace is in the beginning, middle and end. Grace is the self. Because of the false identification of the self with the body, the Guru is considered to be with the body. But from the Guru's outlook, the Guru is only the self. The self is only one only. He tells that the self alone is. Is not then the self your Guru? Where else will grace come from? It is from the self alone. Manifestation of the self is a manifestation of grace and vice versa. All these doubts arise because of the wrong outlook and consequent expectation of things external to oneself. Nothing is external to the self. Devotee, all our questions are from our standpoint and Sri Bhagwan's replies are from his standpoint. The questions are not only answered but are also undermined. 11th February 1936, talk number 158. Mr. Friedman puts a question. Janaka was a Jnani and still he ruled his dominions. Does not action require activity of the mind? What is the rationale of the working of a Jnani's mind? Maharshi, you say Janaka was a Jnani and yet active, etc. Does Janaka ask the question? The question is in your mind only. The Jnani is not aware of anything beside the self. He has no doubts of the kind. Devotee, probably it is like a dream. Just as we speak of our dreams, so they think of their actions. Maharshi, even the dream, etc. is in your mind. This explanation too is in your mind only. Devotee, yes, I see all is Ramana Maya, made up of the self. Maharshi, if so, there will be no duality and no talk. Devotee. A man on realizing the self can help the world more effectively, is it not so? Maharshi, if the world be apart from the self, 12th February 1936, talk number 159. Mr. Cohen desired to know if trance is a sine qua non for self-realization. Maharshi, you are always in the self. Now, in trance, in deep sleep, in realization, if you lose hold of the self and identify yourself with the body or the mind, these states appear to overtake you and it also looks like a blank in trance, etc. Whereas you are the self and ever present. Devotee. Sri Aurobindo says that the light which resides in the head must be brought down to the heart below. Mercy. Is not the self already in the heart? How can the all-pervading self be taken from one place to another? Devotee. Is a karma yogi or a bhakta too subject to trance? Maharshi, when you concentrate on one point, you merge in it, and this merging is called a trance. The other features disappear and the self alone remains over. The karmi or bhakta also must experience the same. Talk number 160. Devotee, what is the Hridaya and what the Sampurna therein? How do they appear? Maharshi, the Hridaya and the Sampurna are the same as the self. The Sampurna requires a basis for its manifestation. This is explained in the book Vichara Sangraham, Self-Enquiry. Devotee, how does the Sampurna appear as light, movement or what? Maharshi, how can it be described in words? It includes all these. It is the self. Fix your attention on it and do not let go the idea of its ultimate character. 13th February 1936. Talk number 161. An elderly man from Anantapur, after hearing the Vedas recited in the hall, stood up and asked, "It is said that the non-Brahmins should not hear the recitation of Vedas." Maharshi, mind your business. Take care of what you came here for. Why do you waste your time in these matters? I heard the recital. You say, who is that I? Without knowing the I, you are using the word. If its significance be known, there will be no doubt. Find the I first and you may afterwards speak of other matters. Continuing, Sri Bhagwan said, the Smritis say something, they are not appropriate now. I will reform the world, rewrite the Smritis. Saying so, people are cutting capers in the world from time immemorial. Such reformers have come and gone, but the ancient Smritis still stand. Why waste time over such matters? Let each one mind his business. All will be well. (23rd February 1936). Talk number 162. A Maharashtra lady of middle age who had studied Jnaneshwari Bhagavata and Vichara Sagra and was practicing concentration between the eyebrows had felt shivering and fear and did not progress. She required guidance. Maharshi told her not to forget the seer. The sight is fixed between the eyebrows, but the seer is not kept in view. If the seer be always remembered, it will be all right. 24th February 1936, talk number 163. Dr. Henry Hand, an American of about 70, asked, what is the ego? Mercy, ego being internal and not external to you, it must be clear to yourself. Devotee, what is its definition? Mercy, the definition also must proceed from the ego. The ego must define itself. Devotee, what is soul? Mercy, find the ego, the soul is found. Devotee, are they then the same? Mercy, soul can be without the ego, but the ego cannot be without the soul. They are like a bubble and the ocean. Devotee, that clarifies the matter. What is Atma? Maharshi, Atma and soul are the same. Talk number 164. Another American asked about thought forms. Maharshi, trace the source of thoughts, they will disappear. Devotee, thoughts materialize. Maharshi, if there be thoughts, they will materialize. If they disappear, there is nothing to materialize. Moreover, if you are physical, the world is physical, and so on. Find out if you are physical. Devotee, how shall I be useful to God's world? Maharshi, find out if I is different from the divine part of the world. Not being able to help yourself, yet you are seeking the divine part of it to help you to help the world. The divinity is directing and controlling you. Where do you go in deep sleep? Where from do you come out? Devotee, I have been influenced by deeds and thoughts. Mercy, thoughts and deeds are the same. Devotee, is there any way of sensing super-physical phenomena, for example, guardian angels? Mercy, the state of the object is according to the state of the seer. Devotee, a group of seers see the same. Maharshi, because there is only one seer behind all and there is diversity of phenomena. Do you perceive diversity in deep sleep? Devotee, we see Abraham Lincoln who died long ago. Maharshi, is there the object without the seer? The experiences may be real, the objects are only according to the seer. Devotee, an assistant of mine was killed in the war. A photo was taken of another group 9 years after his death. His picture appears in the photo. How is it? Maharshi, possibly thoughts have materialized. Go to the root of it. Devotee, how? Maharshi, if the way is external, directions are possible, but it lies within. Seek within. The self is always realized. Something not already realized might be sought afresh, but the self is within your experience. Devotee, yes, I realize myself. Maharshi, myself, are there two, my and self? Devotee, I do not mean it. Maharshi, who is it that has or has not realized? Devotee, there is only one self. Maharshi, the question can arise only if there be two. Abandon the wrong identification of the self with the non-self. Devotee, I mean the higher stage of consciousness. Maharshi, there are no stages. Devotee, why does not a man get illumination instantly? Maharshi, the man is illumination itself. He is illumining. Devotee, is your teaching different from that of others? Maharshi, the path is one and the realization is only one. Devotee, but people speak of so many methods. Maharshi, depending on their own state of mentality. Devotee, what is yoga? Maharshi, yoga, union, is for one in yoga, separation, but there is only one. If you realize the self, there will be no difference. Devotee, is there efficacy in bathing in the Ganges? Maharshi, the Ganges is within you. This Ganges does not make you feel cold or shiver. Bathe in it. Devotee, should we read Gita once in a while? Maharshi, always. Devotee, may we read the Bible? Maharshi, the Bible and the Gita are the same. Devotee, the Bible teaches that man is born in sin. Maharshi, the man is sin. There was no man since in deep sleep. The body thought brings out the idea of sin. The birth of thought is itself sin. To another question the master said, everyone sees only the self. The divine forms are only like bubbles in the ocean of reality, or like pictures moving on a screen. Devotee, the Bible says that the human soul may be lost. Maharshi, the I thought is the ego and that is lost. The real I is I am that I am. Devotee, there is conflict in the teachings of Aurobindo and of the Mother. Maharshi, first surrender the self and then harmonize the conflicts. Devotee, what is renunciation? Maharshi, giving up of the ego. Devotee, is it not giving up possessions? Maharshi, the possessor too. Devotee, the world will change if the people will give up their possessions for the benefit of others. Maharshi, first give yourself up and then think of the rest. In answer to another question, Sri Bhagwan said, the methods appear easy according to the nature of the individual. It depends on what he has practiced before. Devotee, can we not get realization instantaneously? Maharshi, realization is nothing new. It is eternal. There is no question of instantaneous or gradual realization. Devotee, is there reincarnation? Maharshi, reincarnation can be if you are incarnate now. Even now, you are not born. To another question, Maharshi says, the ego is the root of all diseases. Give it up. There will be no disease. Devotee, if all renounce, will there be a practical world? Who will plow? Who will harvest? Maharshi, realize first and then see. The help through realization transcends all the help through world, thoughts and deeds, etc. If you understand your own reality, then that of the rishis and masters will be clear to you. There is only one master and that is the self. Devotee, why do masters insist on silence and receptivity? Maharshi, what is silence? It is eternal eloquence. Devotee, what is a receptive attitude of mind? Maharshi, not to be distracted in mind. Devotee, is there use in bringing America and India closer by bringing the intelligentsia of the two countries together, say by exchange of professors, etc.? Maharshi, such events will take place automatically. There is a power guiding the destinies of nations. These questions arise only when you have lost touch with reality. Is America apart from you or India apart? Get hold of it and see. Devotee, Sri Rama Krishna prepared Vivekananda. What is the power behind? Maharshi, the power is only one in all. Devotee, what is the nature of that force? Maharshi, just like iron filings drawn towards a magnet, the force is inside and not outside. Rama Krishna was in Vivekananda. If you think Vivekananda to be a body, Rama Krishna also is a body, but they are not bodies. Vivekananda could not go into Samadhi had not Rama Krishna been within him. Devotee, why should one suffer when stung by a scorpion? Mercy, what is the cause of the appearance of the body and of the world? Devotee, it is part of the cosmic mind. Mercy, let the cosmic mind worry about such happenings. If the individual wants to know, let him discover his self. Devotee, about yogic mysteries of drinking nitric acid, swallowing poisons, walking on fire, etc. Are these due to a state of vibration? Mercy, let the physical body question it. You are not physical. Why worry about what you are not? If the self had any form, it might be affected by objects. But the self has no form, therefore it is immune from contact with things. Devotee, what is the significance of the sea of love? Mercy, Spirit, Holy Ghost, realization, love, etc. are all synonymous. Devotee, very, very illuminating conversation. Mr. N. Subbarao puts a question. What is Visishta Advaita? Mercy, the same as this. Devotee, they do not admit Mala. Mercy, Sarvam is Brahma, we see. They repeat Brahma remains qualified, Visishta in all. Devotee, they say that the world is a reality. Mercy, we say so too. Acharya has only said, find out the reality behind the world. What is called illusion by one is called changefulness by another. The end is the same in both. Dr. Handel, Mercy, do not think we are bad boys. Mercy, do not tell me so. But you need not think you are bad boys. All laughed and dispersed at 5 p.m. Sri Bhagwan a minute later, if they remain a day longer, they will become silent. Talk number 165. Mr. Subbarao, do not men go into Samadhi? Mercy, is there no Samadhi now? Devotee, is it eternal? Mercy, if not, how can it be real? Devotee, then, Mercy, there is no then, no now. Devotee, it appears so. Mercy, to whom? Devotee, to the mind. Mercy, what is mind? Who am I? Devotee, silence. Talk 166. A man asked if it was possible to ward off old age and disease by the intake of divine force. Mercy, you can ward off the body itself. Devotee, how to take in the divine force? Mercy, it is already there. No need to take it in. It can be done only if it is out of you. But it is only you. There is no taking in or giving out. Devotee, is there any necessity to obey physical laws? That is dieting. Mercy, these are in imagination only. Talk number 167. A man was worried because he could not succeed in concentrating the mind. Mercy, is it not only one even now? It always remains one only. Diversity lies in your imagination only. Unitary being need not be acquired. Talk number 168. it was mentioned to Sri Bhagwan that a self-realized being needs no food, etc. Mercy, you understand according to your state only. Talk number 169. How to control the mind? Devotee asks the question. How to control the mind? Mercy, catch hold of the mind. Devotee, how? Mercy, what is mind? Find it out. It is only an aggregate of thoughts. Devotee, how to root out sexual impulse? Maharshi, by rooting out the false idea of the body being self. There is no sex in the self. Devotee, how to realize it? Maharshi, because you think you are the body, you see another as the body. Difference in sex arises, but you are not the body. Be the real self, then there is no sex. Talk number 170. Devotee, can a yogi know his past lives? Maharshi, do you know the present life so well that you wish to know the past? Find out the present life, then the rest will follow. Even with our present limited knowledge, we suffer so much. Why do you wish to burden yourself with more knowledge and suffer more? Devotee, can fasting help realization? Maharshi, but it is a temporary. Mental fast is the real aid. Fasting is not an end in itself. There must be spiritual development side by side. Absolute fasting makes the mind weak too. You cannot derive sufficient strength for the spiritual quest. Therefore, take moderate food and go on practicing. Devotee, they say that after breaking a month fast, 10 days afterwards the mind becomes pure and steady and remains so forever. Mercy, yes, if the spiritual quest has been kept up right through the fast also. Talk number 171. To another question, Master said, the best is heart-to-heart speech and heart-to-heart hearing. That is the best updesa. Devotee, is not guidance from Guru necessary? Maharshi, are you apart from Guru? Devotee, is proximity helpful? Devotee, do you mean physical proximity? What is the good of it? The mind alone matters. The mind must be contacted. Talk number 28th February 1936. Talk number 172. A visitor. What is the difference between meditation, dhyana, and investigation, vichara? Maharshi replies, both amount to the same. Those unfit for investigation must practice meditation. In this practice, the aspirant, forgetting himself, meditates, I am Brahma or I am Shiva. Thus, he continues to hold to Brahma or Shiva. This will ultimately end on the residual being as Brahma or Shiva, which he will realize to be pure being, that is the self. He who engages in investigation starts holding on to himself. Ask, who am I? And the self becomes clear to him. Devotee, will the knowledge gained by direct experience be lost afterwards? Maharshi, Kabbalah Navnita says it may be lost. Experience gained without rooting out all the vasanas cannot remain steady. Efforts must be made to eradicate the vasanas, otherwise rebirth after death takes place. Some say direct experience results from hearing from one's master. Others say it is from reflection. Yet others say from one-pointedness and also from samadhi. Though they look different on the surface, ultimately they mean the same. Knowledge can remain unshaken only after all the vasanas are rooted out. 29th February 1936, talk number 173. Devotee, Lord, how can the grip of the ego be slackened? Mercy, by not adding new vasanas to it. Devotee, any amount of japa has not slackened the grip. Mercy, how so? It will duly slacken and vanish. 2nd March 1936, talk number 174. Dr. Hand, the American gentleman, asked, are there two methods for finding the source of the ego? Mercy, there are no two sources and no two methods. There is only one source and only one method. Devotee, what is the difference between meditation and inquiry into the self? Mercy, meditation is possible only if the ego be kept up. There is the ego and the object meditated upon. The method is indirect, whereas the self is only one. Seeking the ego, that is its source, ego disappears. What is left over is the self. This method is the direct one. Devotee, then what am I to do? Maharshi, to hold on to the self. Devotee, how? Maharshi, even now you are the self, but you are confounding this consciousness or ego with the absolute consciousness. This false identification is due to ignorance. Ignorance disappears along the ego. Killing the ego is the only thing to accomplish. Realization is already there. No attempt is needed to attain a realization, for it is nothing external, nothing new. It is always and everywhere, here and now too. 3rd March 1936, talk number 175. Mr. N. Subbarao asked, the Visishta Advaitins say that Atam Sakshatkara, self-realization, is preliminary to Paramatma Sakshatkara, God realization. The difficulty seems to be considerable. Maharshi, what is Atam Sakshatkara? Are there two Atmas that one realizes the other? There are no two selves. First get Atam Sakshatkara and then judge what follows. Devotee, the Bhagavad Gita says there is God whose body is made up of all the souls. Mercy. All are agreed on the annihilation of the ego. Let us get to business on the agreed point. Nana Jivatma, different individualities are mentioned by some Advaitins also. All that is immaterial to one's spiritual uplift. First realize the self and then see what lies further. 7th March 1936, talk number 176. Dr. Hand intends leaving the ashramam tomorrow. Visit the Himalayas, Haridwar, return here, go to Bombay and embark for Egypt, Palestine, Europe and finally to his native land, America. He wants to go to the peak of the hill and desires Sri Bhagwan to accompany him. Sri Bhagwan might go up as high as it is convenient for him and then wait for him to finish the climb and catch him at an appointed spot on the hill. Sri Bhagwan smiled and asked him if he had heard of the experience of Dr. Beasley. Dr. Hand, he is my friend. He has told me everything wonderful. I am older than you, Maharshi, but do not give me up as a back number. I can climb up the hill as a boy would. When did you go to the peak last? Maharshi, about 11 years before. What did Dr. Beasley say? Devotee, it is in the strict confidence. I shall tell you everything if you are left alone with me. Maharshi simply smiled. Devotee, Maharshi, are you conscious of brotherhood of invisible rishis? Maharshi, if invisible, how to see them? Devotee, in consciousness. Maharshi, there is nothing external in consciousness. Devotee, is there not the indivisibility? I fear to lose my individual being. Is there not in consciousness the consciousness of being human? Maharshi, why fear to lose individuality? What is your state in dreamless sleep? Are you conscious of your individuality then? Devotee, it is possible. Maharshi, but what is your experience? If individuality be there, would it be deep sleep? Would it be deep sleep? Devotee, that it depends on the interpretation. What does Maharshi say? Maharshi cannot speak for your experience. He does not force anything down your throat. Devotee, I know, that is why I like him and his teaching so much. Maharshi, do you not really prepare your bed and are you not anxious to lose your individuality in deep sleep? Why fear it? Devotee, what is the nirvana of Buddha? Maharshi, loss of individuality. Devotee, I dread that loss. Can there not be human consciousness in nirvana? Maharshi, are there two selves in that case? Consider your present experience of sleep and say. Devotee, I should think it possible to remain individual consciousness in nirvana. I fear the loss of individuality. Later the questioner went up and round the hill and wandered about 15 miles between 12 noon and 8 p.m. He returned tired and gave a very lucid speech on agriculture, social conditions, caste system, spiritual quality of the Indians, etc. 10th March 1936, talk number 177. Devotee, what is Mahat? Maharshi, the projected light from absolute consciousness. Just as a seed swells up before sprouting and then sprouts and grows, so also the absolute consciousness projects light, manifests as the ego, and grows up as the body and the universe. Chit, absolute, Mahat, projected consciousness, swollen seed. Ahankara, ego. Manas, mind. Manas divides into two parts, aham and idam, and that is equal to mind, body and world. Major Chadwick, is it the same as cosmic consciousness? Maharshi, yes, it is so. Before the birth of the ego and the universe, it comprises them all. Just as all the pictures thrown on the screen are visible by the light projected from a spot, so also the body and the other projects are all visible in that reflected consciousness. It is therefore also cosmic consciousness. Again, in the microcosm, the body and all other objects are always contained in the brain. The light is projected on the brain. The impressions in the brain become manifest as the body and the world because the ego identifies itself with limitations. The body is considered separate and the world is separate. Lying down on your bed in a closed room with eyes closed, you dream of London, the crowds there and you among them. A certain body is identified as yourself in the dream. London and the rest could not have entered into the room and into your brain. However, such wide space and duration of time were all perceptible to you. They must have been projected from the brain. Although the world is so big and the brain so small, is it not a matter of wonder that such a big creation is contained in such a small compass as one's brain? Though the screen is limited, still all the pictures of the cinema pass on it and are visible there. You do not wonder how such a long procession of events could be manifest on such a small screen. Similarly with the objects and the brain. Devotee, then cosmic consciousness is not the same as a realization. Maharshi, cosmic consciousness is behind the ego. It may be called Ishvara and the ego is Jiva. Ishvara may also be said to be the absolute, there is no difference there. Para is absolute and Pra is Ishvara and that is equal to cosmic consciousness Mahat. Jiva, Jagat, individual consciousness and the world. The consciousness which pervades Jivan Ishvara is the absolute one. Talk number 178. What is the flame mentioned in Vichara Sangraha? It is said to be Atma Jyoti and one is directed to find the reality behind it. Maharshi, the Vedas mention the flame, tapasya, sikhya, madhe, paramatma, vyasistha. That flame is to be identified with the ego consciousness. 11th March 1936, talk number 179. Mr. Friedman had asked Swami Ramdas something, to which he replied that there would be no more births for himself. The engineer had pointed out there should be no anxiety regarding rebirth. There will be the same Rama, the same Ramdas, the same search for Rama and the same bliss of realization. What objection could be there for the repetition of this Rama Leela? Ramdas had admitted that there could be no objection, that it would be an enjoyment and a game. The engineer further said that Ramdas added that the Ramdas had found Rama merged in him and happy in that union. They are the same still. There was Ramdas, there was Rama, there was the union, there was the bliss that is eternal. Saying it, he asked what Sri Bhagwan would say to it. Maharshi, it is all as true as the present events. Talk number 180. Later the same gentleman said that sleep was a state of oblivion and the wakeful state was the mind's activity. The mind was in a potential state in sleep. Maharshi, were you not in sleep? Devotee, Yes, I was, but in a state of oblivion. There must be a witness of oblivion and of the mind which says that I am continuous in both states. Mercy, who is this witness? You speak of witness. There must be an object and a subject to witness. These are creations of the mind. The idea of witness is in mind. If there was the witness of oblivion, did he say, I witness oblivion? You, with your mind, said just now that there must be a witness. Who was the witness? You must reply, I. Who is that I again? You are identify yourself with the ego and say, I is this ego I, the witness. It is the mind that speaks. It cannot be witness of itself. With the self-imposed limitations, you think that there is a witness of mind and of oblivion. You also say, I am the witness. That one who witnesses the oblivion must say, I witness oblivion. The present mind cannot arrogate to itself that position. So, I end the video here and I will show the graphics in the small video part of 10th. So this video will be 10th A, and graphics which have come in between the video I will show in 10th B. So thank you my dear friends for listening and watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thanks my dear friends. Namaskar.